good to see all of you here today. We want to welcome you to our library. And we're come today because, first of all, I'm proud of myself because I'm getting close to pronouncing his name right. We have Mr. Terry Nienaber. How am I doing?
Great.
Mr. Terry Nienaber, and he is an aerospace engineer from the NASA Langley Research Center. And he's here today to provide us with some information. His bio is here in the program, and I'm not going to insult your intelligence and read it to you. You can read it for yourself. So I'm just here to welcome you and to present to you Mr. Terry Nienaber.
I appreciate that. So I've been chatting with people leading in, so I hope I don't repeat myself too much. But so I'm an engineer. I work at NASA Langley, and it's like, well, the space shuttle was. This is NASA. The space shuttle was about that. It was the most visible of what we do, but it was certainly not everything we do. Why did we get rid of the space shuttle? The space shuttle served a really interesting phase of our space development. It was designed in the 60s and 70s, built in the and commissioned in late 70s, early 80s. It was getting old. It was expensive to maintain, and we decided that NASA had explored low Earth long enough to let commercial entities start to come in and do some of the exploration and operations in space, and we were going to look beyond low Earth. And so we've been developing technologies within NASA directly to go beyond low Earth orbit.
How many miles is it from Earth to outer space?
I don't know what the definition is technically. I mean, you're just talking semantics there, right? What do they define as outer space versus inner space versus... I don't remember where the definition lies, but outer space, I believe, is outside sort of the primary influence of the Earth's gravity. So what does Langley do? I mentioned the wind tunnels. The wind tunnels are how we basically simulate air movement across surfaces that make the airplanes fly. I will say that this was all done long before there was computers. Other than the human mind computers, the ones in like the Hidden Figures movie, and in that brief period of history where we were in the air and doing things, but didn't have electronics that could help us get there. It started with smaller area cross sections. Eventually, we started building bigger and bigger wind tunnels to where you could put full fuselages, full aircraft in the tunnel and test it at that level.
Working as closely as you do with NASA and space equipment, whatnot, would you want to go, if you had a chance to go into outer space, would you? I know you got wife and family.
I mean, that would be a big factor. I mean, so I'll be honest, I was trying to describe to the kids this morning, the challenge with going to Mars. The challenge with going to the moon is challenging. Just communication is seconds of delay between transmit and receive. Going to Mars is minutes. It could take 20 minutes for a signal to go from here to Mars, another 20 minutes for the signal to come back. I've blown my schedule, like most of NASA, by 2 goals.
No, not really. Terry, we have enjoyed this so much. And on behalf of Paul Phillips, and a member and a trustee of Pasquotank County Library, and we want to present Terry this special gift of appreciation for enlightening us and showing us what's all going on with Langley and NASA. And also wish Langley a happy 100th birthday. This has been just so enjoyable, has it not been? I think we need to give him a big round of applause.
On behalf of the library, we want to thank all of you for taking time to come out to this very special presentation during World Space Week.